welcome back to Carnegie Flag Football Winter League. The regular season is done. We know who is going to be in our playoff spots. We know who's going to be in the wooden spoon bracket. Tree knows a lot of things about stats, and it's been a remarkable day here at Orium, and one where we saw a lot of teams kind of up their game in the hunt for those playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'll start off with me first of all. It's probably the most stressful I've been of all the 4 days. And I think I say it every week. I had to do the stats, I had to do the scores, I had to do the tables, commentate, make sure we're going to the next scene.
Mate, you did it admirably.
And then I was watching my team getting beaten. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Should I be doing this and helping everybody else getting love from the league, or just my team are going to hate me? So I was like, you know what, I love everyone else. Yeah. So we've had a good day. So stat-wise,
picked a majority.
Tough day for me, but we're good. Going into the playoffs should be easier. And you guys have been on the field today.
We have been on the field.
It looked like it was some good fun.
It was great fun today, actually. Possibly one of the more enjoyable days I've had.
Yeah.
Good fun, good football, good people.
Yes.
And we're all dry.
We are all dry. It is raining outside now, or it has been raining.
The sun is now shining.
Sun is now shining. So,
right, shall we get on to it?
yes.
Crack on,
Okay.
Tell us, Greg, what is the news?
Well, as Bez has already alluded to, the playoff spots have been cemented in. So we will go from the top 2 seeds, the ones that get by. Unsurprisingly, Top Guns have taken the number 1 seed. They went unbeaten again today, I believe. I've got a few of the scorelines here, but I'm not going to delve into them just yet. In second place, the Rexhaven Midnight Runners, otherwise known as the Bezly Berry Offence. In third, we have a change of position.
We do.
The Renfrewshire Raptors have stepped up and they now sit in third, so they will play the 6th seed, who we will get to shortly. We won't reveal it too soon. Carnegie have dropped down to 4th. We thought they were in a bit of bother today.
I did. There were times where I thought, right, they've lost to the Outlaws. They're lost to Top Gun. I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. And I seen that Youngie was QBing for the Blackhawks today, and I thought, oh, that could be some points on the board. And I was getting a little bit nervous. I could see the other teams were winning, and Carnegie won. And I was like, oh, is it going to be tight? And I don't know whether the maths it was ever going to be made possible by the maths, but looking at the standings now,
It looks a bit of a stretch.
I think it would have been a stretch, yeah. I think.
But to be fair, like, there's only 2 points in it. There's a game in it.
Exactly. I think Carnegie, they didn't have, Callum, Brandon, Craig, a lot of the guys couldn't make it today, and fair play to the lads that did come today. It was probably one of their hardest days, but this is the opportunity that they have to take.
Absolutely.
That they maybe not get later on. So there's a lot of guys there. One of our guys actually got MVP vote, which will maybe let him know later on, but you might be quite surprised at himself. So that was a new guy.
This is all good experience as well. And so in the first round of the playoffs, they will be playing the Edinburgh Outlaws.
Yep.
Again, had a couple of good results today.
Good old
close game with Carnegie as well.
Throwdown.
I can't remember what the score. I think it was a 1-score game, if I'm
Which
right.
one we're looking at?
Yeah,
we
Outlaws,
have it
Carnegie.
as 1913.
1913. So yeah, 1-score game.
In which they came out victorious.
Well, yeah.
And put a little bit of worry on you.
They
Aged you a couple of years.
A couple, yeah. So the grey's not coming through, nobody can see it, but it definitely did. So I think that's going to be a really...
You can edit out.
I'll edit out, some Photoshop. But that first round matchup, if Carnegie have a fuller squad, that's going to be fun, that one. So I look forward to that.
Absolutely. And in our 6th spot, securing playoff football, is the defending champions, the Aberdeen Silvercats.
I'll applaud that.
Bez called it on a preview show.
And they did it the hard way. I told them the easy way to do it was to win game 1 and beat the Colts and then control your own destiny for the rest of the day. They decided, we'll drop the first 2 and then we'll go on a 3-game run from there to win it. So it's a testament to those guys for not...
And all with Nick Gordon at QB today.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, stepped in relief and threw Cameron Reid out onto the wing, which
we said that
worked for them.
You need to keep Cam at receiver.
So
I think I'm glad they've done it. I like how Nick stepped up. I had a little joke with him after last game, going, "Oh, Nick, I look like the defense was going to win you that game with your pick 6 early." And I looked at him, I was like, "It's just warming up, Tree." Of course you were, Nick. Of course you were.
Yeah,
but
Nick is a quarterback that likes to play from behind, so he throws a lot of picks just to set himself up for glory.
So yeah,
someone else who probably deserves a bit of a mention for them today was Eli Rory.
Yes,
yeah,
crushed it today.
Great day. So well done, you.
Watching Eli hit a gap is good because he's like a bigger dude, but he is fast.
He quite often runs straight for the guy as well.
Yeah,
which is quite fun.
Oh, that pick six he had at the last game to get them the first score against the Killer Bees was literally like, oh, there's the end zone, straight.
Oh yeah,
So we got that on the live stream.
good.
So yeah, that is our playoff teams. Unfortunately, the Grangemouth Colts, the Newcastle Blackhawks, Killer Bees, and the West Lothian Chargers miss out. Do they go into a consolation?
They do
games?
indeed, yeah. So they'll be guaranteed 2 games on the day. The matchups work out exactly the same. So it'll be the Grangemouth Colts versus the West Lothian Chargers, and it'll be the Newcastle Blackhawks against the Glasgow Killer Bees in that first round of the placement games at the bottom.
So we reckon the Colts are going to be the early favourites for that.
Depends who the Blackhawks bring. The
Yeah.
Blackhawks at times today did look really good. At times they looked really bad, and I think it depended who was at QB. I think Youngie can really help with him in certain games, but we know who Youngie is. He's very experienced. He can look after the ball. Progressed. I think he played you guys. I think for the first 6 minutes of the game, he had the ball, and I was like, oh well, Rex is going to get a chance to score here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Well, it's a good tactic, you know, if you take the time, especially in these sort of
Sure.
time-dependent games, where if you take 6-7 minutes for a drive, you're cutting the game in half at least,
Yep.
and absolutely keeping it close no matter what.
Yeah, so I definitely see
keep
maybe
the team in the game.
a Colts Blackhawks kind of placement final there possibly. Who will win that? We'll save that for another rainy day. But,
Absolutely. So,
Question. Is there a physical wooden spoon?
do you want me to bring a physical wooden spoon?
Yeah.
Then there's a physical wooden spoon.
fantastic.
We'll even get us
Just
to sign it.
because I'm really, after I really appreciated the Raptors gifting themselves the flagging New Year.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Wooden spoon. It's one of my, we love that on Social Media Watch. It's a big part of what we do. So, if there was a physical wooden spoon to be given out, I would.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll hook them up. We'll get one.
So,
yeah, so that.
I mean, there's one other big thing to be decided today. It's literally sat right in front of us.
It was.
Beautiful. It's green. It's the Emerald Bowl.
It's
It's Jurassic Bowl.
The Jurassic Bowl. Jurassic
Jurassic Cup.
There we go.
Jurassic Cup. There we go. And that's
So-
obviously between Rex's Midnight Runners and obviously the Raptors. So it's number 2 seed versus number 3 seed.
Can't wait to watch that back because that had the funky graphics.
We had the
on it, didn't it?
additional graphics on it. I also had for that game, I'm looking at Tom Clark, who was commentating in that game.
Yes.
I can't remember. We had an additional commentator.
I
that was
mean,
with
yes
me.
is not an answer to that question. However,
Was it Dave Charleston?
Yes.
Yes,
So
it
we
was.
had a Charger with us that day, and myself, and we were going to have Steve Cliff for that, but yeah, he had to go help referee because all the goals disappeared.
They did.
So it was
Yeah,
a good game
I
to
did look
watch.
up at the broadcasting booth and there was like a crowd of people.
We were very worried at points. We're like, why is there no one refereeing? They're all up here. Go away. But that was probably a really interesting one to watch. I think
how did all the new graphics go? Did everything go as planned?
not really because Tom asked me to put in some noises to it. Nah, I failed at that. I don't have the time. Don't have the time for that nonsense. And we were a little bit worried about the dinosaurs. You wouldn't be able to see the back of the end zones.
Encroaching the pitch.
So there may be some missed touchdowns.
And missed Fraser Thompson tackles.
But it's all right. We
No
know who
chance.
won. So.
There's-
Every Fraser Thompson tackle will be on that camera.
We made a few comments about Fraser today, looking pretty good. So
He does look good.
he does look good. He looks.
But first of all, he's an incredibly handsome man, but also when he plays football, he's very good at it.
And he's looking fitter, he's looking quicker, and I think from his injury he's just progressing very nicely at the
Yeah.
end of the season. So I
we
liked him.
only just need to see him lose the sleeves.
Yeah,
That's
then,
it.
Then it'll be perfect.
that's it.
Get the arms out.
Small arms, big ambitions.
That's it.
It's a dinosaur, right?
Dinosaur jazz.
Dinosaur
hands.
jazz hands.
Right, fantastic. What else do we want to go into now then? Just 2 news items today.
2 news items. Have we got
Yeah.
any more news? No, I think that's the news. We'll stick with that now. So
Absolutely.
Okay, and now on to the winners of the stats competition, and where we've been tracking the people who have had a big impact on their team and the league over the last 4 rounds of football. Stuart, you are the stats man.
Indeed. So we'll start off with defensive MVP. We'll do top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3
Two,
to
two,
count
yeah.
back.
2, 2,
So
1.
number 3 in defense ended up being Bud McFerrin, Mr. President. He had 5 interceptions and 1 pick 6, so got 26 points. So well done to Bud. He wasn't actually here today, but
Done
well
enough.
done. Yeah, done enough to hold on. Honourable mention to Bez. You were only 2 points behind. from a third, so well done.
Yeah. Sacks, baby. Blitzes of people too. Kaz, that was for you.
Coming in at second, Scott Forbes.
Hey!
Well done, Scott Forbes.
Well done.
The
He jumped up
defending,
the
the
rankings.
defending champ?
Yep, so he had 8 interceptions to end up. Actually, more interceptions than the winner.
Did, yeah.
So unlucky Scott, he was close with 32 points. And then picking up the win, again, not here today again, so enough in the 3 weeks to do the job, was Iceman, Kev Woods.
Kev Woods.
So well done,
Congratulations,
Kev.
Kev.
So according to the stats, he had 5 interceptions and 3 pick six in the pick six.
Which is an incredible
That's a
rating.
great conversion rate.
It is, he done well. So well done to Kev. We have a set of flags to give you.
Lovely modelling here from
There
Trey.
we go.
There we go.
So you have a set of defensive MVP flags on your way. We'll probably give them to you at the next game day, if you're here. Moving on to QB. QB. So in third place, dropping down from second, I think he did, was Ben Wilson from the Raptors. Well done, Ben.
you.
He had 38 touchdowns, 20 XP1s, and 4 XP2s to end up with 167 points. Because it worked out at 4 points per touchdown, 1 for X.1, 2 for X.2, and then minus for interceptions and all that kind of stuff, and sacks. So they all got deducted. So if you have to look after the ball, you were higher up. So a lot of the guys kind of suffered from that. Second, probably due to the success of Kevin Budd, is Jules. Well done, Jules.
Well done, Jules.
He jumped up from about 5th or 6th, I think he was. I can't remember
He
what
was
it
a little
was.
bit
He was a
further
bit
down. Yes,
further
he's
down.
obviously had a really good day.
Yeah, I think the guys played really well today. Jules got another couple of MVP votes today, so he's up there in that race, which we might talk about later.
He is the man.
Yep. Jules had 47 touchdowns, 20 XP1s, and 1 XP2. So talk about extra point conversions on a podcast, boys. That one's
That's pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
Yeah.
It's not
too
bad
bad.
at all.
Yep. Do we have to talk about him?
I mean, we can move on if you want.
He is on an airplane, so
He's
he
on
won't
an
see
airplane,
this.
so he's definitely going to see. He's not going to have data when he's away. So good.
Yeah, we'll scoot this one out under the radar.
So we'll go very quickly. Scott McDonald.
And
Well
to
done,
be
Scott.
fair to him, the differential in points between him and his closest challenger is more than some of the people further down that list totaled.
Yeah, well, I mean, the
Yeah.
difference is 80, and that is what, number 6 on the list is 78 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's.
His gap would have been sixth.
His receivers make him look
They
very
do make
good.
him look
They
good.
do.
They do.
So that's 61 touchdowns, 16 XP1s, and today he suddenly went off, and you guys went for XP2s quite a lot.
All day.
So yeah, you ended up with 11. So a little bit of good productivity there. So he must have been listening to the podcast, boys. So
Turns
he ended
out
up
that
with
actually we're better from further away.
there you go. So 264 points. So he actually won by quite a large amount. So well done, Scott. Again, another set of flags coming your way. So good job on that one, Scott. Last but not least, offense.
The hotly contested one.
It is
The one
indeed.
that into the final week, we weren't really too sure how this was going to play out.
No, definitely not. And I thought with a few extra guys, Gus Ballantyne, he wasn't here today. Sean Young wasn't here today. Callum Woods wasn't here today. So there was a few guys that weren't actually here. So it did actually make it a little bit easier for a person in question. But let's start off a little bit further down. Some honourable mentions to our own Greg Sim. Was tied with Gus Ballantyne for 4th on 96 points. So these ones are easy. These are 6 points for touchdowns. XP1s are 1, XP points are 2. So this is just pure points. So that's what makes up to that. So 96 each. And then we've got 81 for the Top Guns Love and Feeling. I want to say Grant.
Yeah,
McClellan.
that
I'm
could
going to
be.
say it's Grant
Yeah.
McClellan. He ended up with 98 points. So only 2 points ahead of you, Greg.
See today, he caught an absolute bomb today down the sideline on pitch 2,
Yeah.
last game of the day, and he turned round and I was like, "Nice job, Grant, good catch." And he went, "I have no idea who threw that,"
Just catch and go.
because I think they were just chucking options around, and then it just came deep. So he just went, "Oh, I don't know,
Right.
don't know where that came from."
So well done, Grant. He was third. Second, he's not here. Callum Woods. You did join us on the live stream, so well done, Callum.
Hope they're doing well in the States.
They
Well,
should be.
I think they were third after the first day. I don't know if there was a second day or not. I did see
second
it.
day tomorrow.
Would have been today, I believe.
Oh, right.
okay.
I know Jamie did join the live stream, and so did Callum at some
Yeah.
point. So they did see their names pop
I'd
up.
seen I think they were 2 and 1 after
Good.
the first 3. Although there was a bit of confusion because the team that were top were 5 and 0, but then there was teams that have only played 3 games. So we
Okay.
thought there must have been extra games today. So Good luck, guys.
Yeah, hope they're doing really well.
Perfect. So Callum had 17 touchdowns, 1 XP1 and no XP2s, so 103 points in total. And then there he is. Number 1, Bezly Berry, with
Perfect himself.
148 points offensively calculated and a lot of money donated with 23 touchdowns, 6 XP1s and 2 XP2s. That's 148 offensive points. That's 23
148.
Yeah, I will.
What is it? Is it a 5 or a touchdown? And what is it for XPs?
Yeah, but like a lot of them
is there any for
are
XPs?
from pre-Christmas.
So 2 of the
You're
games
such a Scrooge. Yeah.
So. Sorry,
Such a
Greg.
Scrooge. It's for charity. Come on.
No, touchdowns only. Touchdowns only.
So
Well,
well done, Bez.
Thank you very much.
Did we have his flags?
We do. I've been sitting on them. I've kept them warm for you.
Oh, thank you very
There you
much.
go.
Thank you very much, Greg.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you for
Well done, Bez.
dragging defenses towards you. That's much appreciated.
Well done, Bez.
Thank you very much.
The MVP race, we thought we had a tie. We don't. That'll be getting announced at the playoff day. So we'll basically announce the winner, get to the end, and then we'll hand the MVP to whoever that may have been.
Wow.
So we're going to save that.
So
we're
is
not
there a
gonna-
couple in contention for that?
A tie.
There's
Obviously,
3. There was a tie up until the last round of games, and I thought it was definitely going to be a tie. And I was like, there's no way this other guy's going to get a vote. So I'm like, it'll be a tie. But no, they ended up getting a vote in the last set of games. So,
so someone that was here today.
yeah. So,
Interesting. We're
Tight.
able to narrow this down a little
Tight.
bit.
yeah, and it's
We're
Detective-
gonna, get the
detective
we're gonna have
work.
to get the thumb screws out on you after this is over.
yeah, and there's so many players. I think at least like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. There's players now you would never think would be in there.
Fantastic.
I
Good
think I
on
heard
them.
on the podcast it was you were all going very pro QB. There's only 1 QB in the top 5 or 6.
Hot
So
damn.
it really changes up. So when I had your
I
podcast,
went offense heavy. Obviously, I went for our offensive MVP.
yeah,
I thought-
there's no one on defense. Let's be honest, getting the MVP votes, but it's all offense and 1 QB.
Well, one man did get an MVP vote today who plays defense, and that is Fraser the Tackler
Fraser.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Hey,
So well done.
great tackling technique,
great
sir.
tackle,
Great tackling technique.
Can I mention Scott Forbes as well?
Yes, you can.
You may.
MVP for his game as well. They got 2 picks in that game and sealed the deal with the Killer Bees to get a playoff spot. So
Oh,
Scott got
ice
an
cold.
MVP benefit.
Ice cold.
Fantastic. Well done, guys.
So
Good job.
Scott had done the job there. So well done to our award winners and MVP. You'll find out soon.
Amazing. So now that we have our offensive and defensive and quarterback performers of the league all done and dusted, we're going to pick our 5 All-Star players. We've got 1 quarterback, 2 offensive players, and 2 defensive players. Crucially, none of the players that actually won the stat categories are eligible. That's quite important.
Yeah, we'll make that.
Because that was too easy.
Yeah,
we're going to play with that a little bit.
So it's really honourable mentions for other guys that we think over the 4 weeks so far have shown that they've got the ability, and we just want to say, well done.
Well done.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So most important position on the field.
We'll start with QB first.
QB.
We'll start with Greg, and I'll do
So-
offense, you do defense.
Not a problem. So one of the people that we did want to give a little bit of love to is Liam Clutterbuck at the Edinburgh Outlaws. Obviously, they've finished mid-table in the playoffs. There was a lot of questions coming into this about them losing a star player to the Broncos and how this team was going to be affected by that. They've, well, but they came out fighting. He's came out slinging, scoring a lot of points. They've been not too bad on defence. They've let in a little bit as well, but they've been entertaining to watch, which is what we all want. We want entertaining football. It's enjoyable, and he's been good.
It has been.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been fun to watch.
So kudos to Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. And a quick little mention for Ben Wilson as well. I
Yeah.
think he's been really good at the Raptors. I think they've been a little bit of a revelation. I think they came into this looking for 10 wins. They've ended up with 11. So they've exceeded expectations. And I
Yeah.
think they've probably exceeded expectations from people who are watching as well. I think they've been a lot more competent than a lot of people are going to give them credit for.
Hopefully that will be discussed on the next Rap Revision because it's been a while and I do miss it. So boys, Rap
Please
Revision,
deliver.
return, please.
But who gets our QB All-Star position?
Oh, we're announcing it. I thought we were
Yes.
just doing the...
No.
Okay, right. For the
Our All-Star.
All-Star QB, it is the one, the only, Jules.
Julian Holborn White, congratulations,
Well done,
Jules.
Jules. We'll give you a set of those ones. So we'll get a set of them to you, Jules, for the next game day. Wear them with pride, my man. Wear them with
I mean,
pride.
they've been the most explosive offense, just about.
Yep.
You know,
I think the one thing that hampered them in the stats was interceptions.
Really?
If I look back at the stats, he's had quite a few interceptions, which is
For a guy
that's
who
why
normally
it
plays
looks-
wide receiver,
Yeah.
to come
We'll give
second
him
in
some
the KB
slack
stats as
there.
well. He's obviously got a lot of talent around him, but he's done well with that. So well done you.
Well done,
Yeah,
Jules.
congratulations, Jules.
Offense. Will we go for some honourable mentions first, or will we give the 2 All-Stars first, boys? What we want to do?
Honourable mention.
Honourable
Honourable
mentions,
mentions
yeah, people
first.
did well.
So, definitely looking at the stats, let's start with probably Nicky Farrell. Shout out to him coming into you guys as Rexies. He didn't play. Did he play the first game?
He didn't play week
No,
one.
didn't play week 1, but he's played the other
excellent
ones
since then.
And you can see, with you stealing all 23 of them, you picked 14. There's not really many left for everybody else.
Well, I mean, he
So
just seems to run the full length of the pitch for us.
Yeah,
Touchdowns.
it's disgusting.
It's horrible.
It's so nice
just
being on
not
the same
fair.
team as him.
Yeah,
It's so
it's-
nice being on the same team as him.
Yeah, it's dirty.
It's a nice
So,
change.
I like Nicky. The other one I'd probably say is Grant Fraser. I was speaking to the guys on the live feed today. Grant Fraser for the Raptors has 8 touchdowns, but more importantly, the most extra points of every other player in the Winter League with 8 extra points.
He's a big lad, so he's
he's
so
tough,
tough,
he's tough. Yeah, he's
to,
tough to
to
defend.
stop in those short yardage situations.
So I had Grant up there offensively. Nicky is honourable mentions. We've already mentioned guys like Greg Sim. He's okay. He catches the balls. He's just been overshadowed by this guy. But Greg, offensively, an absolute
thank you.
weapon as always. But coming to our
He is
2,
an absolute weapon.
he's an absolute weapon. I don't like when I see Greg on offense. I'm like, he's going to score. So you were unlucky to kind of be not further higher up. So, but you know
Well,
what?
I missed a game day, so I'm not.
And
too
you're
unhappy with that.
fantastic, man. So our 2 All-Stars that we've picked, though, let's start with probably not so surprising is Paul Johnston. So from the Raptors. Well done, Paul.
Run, Paul.
He was good.
He was good. A lot of the times today, Ben's finding him in positions where Ben's just going to give him the ball and let him make a play. He's going to go and look deep, and Paul's just there catching balls. I think me and Tom in the live stream today made a few comments where they did give up a couple of times on long routes. Paul kind of hung back. I don't know whether what happened or was just miscommunication or just wasn't sure whether it was to keep going. He could have had more.
Yeah.
So I like Paul. So honourable mention. Or not, he's dynamite, and he should be definitely a lot higher, and he will keep progressing. So I like
Yep.
Paul. Good
Yeah,
player. He was
absolutely.
on the live stream too, so thanks for that as well, Paul.
Well
Appreciate
done,
it.
Paul. All-star.
Last one. I think we're all as surprised as each other, like the performance that he's had this season. But Stephen Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for
Uh,
you.
Stephen Cliff. We spoke about it on the podcast. At the beginning of the season, would not have picked him to be as high up the list as he is. But it's a credit to him. He actually, while I was calling the game, he caught an incredible ball in the front corner of the end zone on pitch 4 against the Bees, which put them up. And then they won that game, and there was 4 seconds left. Last play of the game, I got super excited and shouted a little bit down the microphone. So I hope people enjoyed that. But the touchdown was much more enjoyable than me shouting.
It's been quite consistent as well. I mean, his name's been
Yeah.
there or thereabouts the whole way through. It's not a case of he's had one game where it's just been
Yeah.
he's scored everything. It's just consistently available for the QB.
He's a leading Colts scorer by, I think, arguably quite a bit. There's nobody else in my top 20 from the Colts. So, So well done, Stephen and Paul, for being our 2 All-Stars. Again, we'll get a set of flags to you for the next game day, and we'll come and present them to you. So,
Good
well
for
done.
you guys.
Well done.
Absolutely.
Let's move
And
on
on to defence. Obviously, they say that defence wins championships. And again, there was a lot of guys that have played really well over the course of the week. Stuart Fleming, for example, at the Raptors, another Raptor that's been playing really well. He went out and he flew up the rankings, I believe, this week in the statistical category because of picks.
I don't think he was here.
So he's not here?
I
Cool.
don't think
Off air, he told me that he had a lot of picks today. Apparently not, but
No, Stuart. It was Scott Forbes.
Scott did, yes.
Yeah,
We'll come on to
yeah,
him in a minute. Cameron Reid, one of the younger players in the league, super exciting player to watch, has been playing pretty well on defence. Special mention as well to Liam Oliver at the Chargers, who today had an interception against us that I think every single person on the pitch applauded.
Yeah.
I high-fived him on the way off. I was like, yep, fair. Yeah. It was tremendous.
Was it on the live stream?
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it? Because
yeah.
we were talking about it.
Um, From a guy, you often find that the very tall players are a bit all over the place, but he just dived for that and caught it, and it was fantastic. And being level with it and looking across the line, that was incredible. So he's definitely an honourable mention for me.
Corey Russell as well. 9 sacks.
Corey Russell at the blitz position. Good job for you, man. Proud of that.
9 sacks. That's equals yourself.
Does equal myself, yeah. So, yeah, proud of him for that. I know that Blitzes everywhere will rejoice to see that. But we are going to come on to the guys who were named as All-Stars, and that is, first off, is Mr. Scott Forbes, who had a 4-pick day?
Yep.
4-pick day.
Either 3 or 4 today, I can't remember.
He, to rise up the rankings, doubled his pick count over the whole season today. And, yeah, congratulations, Forbes. You've done really well there.
Yeah, absolutely. Stepped up in a big way for his team and a crucial time as well.
Yeah,
playoffs today.
Yeah, definitely a big part of why they are.
I must say, I was speaking to him earlier, and he did say that quite a few of these interceptions came off of tip passes as well. So he was quite keen to make sure his teammates got a bit
so
bit of love
probably
for that as
Harry
well.
Craig and Alan Craig, but no relation.
But I think Mark was there as well.
And was Mark here as well?
Yeah,
I didn't see
he
the
was
silver
doing a
today,
bit of blitzing as well.
Yeah,
I've seen him
so Mark,
bat down a couple.
he hands everywhere. So yeah, good job to them, and well done for batting them all into the waiting embrace of Mr. Scott Forbes. And finally, another guy who's played really, really well over the course of the league. Balls do just seem to end up in his hands. It is my friend and colleague, Mr. Greg Sim, whose podcast introduction just got even better. So congratulations, my All-Star. Here we are.
Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much.
There we are. So that
Don't
is
worry, no
our
speech.
All-Star team for Winter League. So that is Julian Holborn-White at quarterback with, I can't read that,
Stevie Cliff.
Stevie Cliff and Paul Johnson on offense, and Scott Forbes and Greg Sim on defense. Congratulations, guys. Your flags will be handed out to you the next time this guy sees you.
Come see us.
Good job. Okay, and now the arguably most exciting part of the of this show, the one that Greg and I have no idea about. It's the one part of the show that is, these reactions are completely unscripted, and it is, of course, the pick'ems. So, Mr. Anderson, will you do the honours?
I will indeed. So before I kind of go into it, we'll start with probably, this has been the most exciting week for our pick'ems by an absolute mile. I was doing them as we're going through the day, and I was just looking at Tom going, unlucky Tom. However,
It's having a meltdown. It's having a late season collapse.
He was getting a bit nervous, and I was like, no, you'll be all right, Tom.
He's still looking pretty nervous.
So
it's
to
fantastic.
go, before we got into it, it was myself in third with 19, Bez in second with 20, and Tom with 21.
Going into today.
Going into today. Now, one player only got one wrong today, who will feature in our top 3, which was magical. I did not expect. He's so low down. He only had 16 points, yet he's still up the top end. So we'll get back to that. So we'll start with. Is this third? Yeah. So we'll start with third, and I think I've got one player at third overall, which is Paul Ferretti, who ended up with 23 points.
Nice.
So well done, Paul.
Well done, Paul. Good picks. Good picks.
Next with 24 points was myself.
Well done, you.
So,
Tactful. You don't want to win it. Tactful. Pull it back a wee bit.
So the issue that I've got is 3 players are tied with 25.
Wow.
Which are, in no particular order, in fact I will, Bezly Berry.
I mean, did he not have 10 on the first day?
9, because he put one of them from week 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's cost me! It's cost me!
Tom Clark.
And Scott. It's
Oh,
got
no, it's McDonald.
It's Scott McDonald. Scott McDonald had 9 out of 10 today.
Oh, my word.
And it takes him all the way up to tie with 25 points. So
Oh,
that's
Wait, he's
Scott
away on
McDonald.
holiday.
He is. Bezly
Is he
Berry,
going to be...
Tom Clark.
Oh, wow.
Epic. I couldn't have asked for a way to end it.
So, Mr. Anderson, please, pray tell, how do we fix this? We cannot finish on a tie.
It is a fix!
We will not finish on a tie, boys. What's going to happen is we have 4 games in the opening day of the playoffs. We've got, let's remember them all.
Will be...
Raptors Silvercats.
Yep.
Carnegie Outlaws.
Yep.
Colts Chargers. And Blackhawks
Bees.
Bees.
Yeah.
From those games, we'll set up some pick'ems. I will not share who's picked who. That'll decide who gets the £100.
What if it's still a tie? Semis?
Then we'll move on to the semis.
And then the final?
Then on to the final.
What if it's still a tie?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Right. Basically, we just need to agree that we both, if it gets to the final,
In the final, they've got to do a score.
Yeah, closest score.
We'll
Total
do
points.
something.
Total points.
Oh, yes.
Total points.
Over-unders.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Okay.
So we're not finishing on a tie. So the three people that are at the top, so Tom, Bez,
and
Scott,
McDonald.
will be the three players.
I'll
that
be
go
honest.
through.
I reckon that my performance has gone down since a perfect week one. I think I've allowed a lot of people to catch up.
9, 4, 7, and 5.
It's every second week.
Oh, do you know what that means though?
You're due.
I'm due.
Do you want to know any more while we're here? Greg,
How badly did
where
Tom
was
go
Greg?
today?
So
I
Greg had
must have went.
21.
Oh, Tom only got four right
I'm only
today.
a wee bit behind.
Yeah, so
Tom
you
only
had
got
8,
four
4,
right.
5, and 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it went bad.
that's not so good.
Who had the lowest single week score that did take part?
Oh,
There's a lot of threes there.
I
There's a 2. There's a 2 down here.
There's a few 2s. Nobody got 0, I don't think, but there's a couple of 2s that are lower
Quite a
down.
few threes as well.
Yeah, a few 3s. There was a few today.
You
that
know,
I
you know
thought
what
were
that
quite
tells me,
poor.
Bez? Games are good.
Good games.
Because
Good
Aaron
games.
Drummond's here, can we talk about how many he had this week?
Yeah.
3.
Oh, enough.
All of them, baby.
Right. Over unders. Rexy versus Chargers. Which did you go for?
No, he picked the Chargers in that one. He picked the Chargers.
Mate, that's genius because I did exactly the same. I wanted us to win the game, but
I'm telling you, it was a fix, that one. Bev kept dropping everything. like that pen.
The only problem I have now is I've got £100 in my wallet. It's going to have to stay there for another 3 weeks.
It's burning a hole. Dear
Well
me.
done. So, so I'll get the pick'em set up. We'll send it to the 3 guys and we'll announce the winner. Probably when we hand out the trophies at the end of the day.
Fantastic.
God.
So we'll save the pick'ems, we'll have the MVP, and we'll have the overall winner all getting their trophies at the end of the day. So everyone hang about after the last game day, about in the back of the stand somewhere, and we'll sort it out. If the field's empty like it is just now, we'll do it in the field. If not, we'll come up and do the presentations here.
Fantastic.
Awesome. That's picks. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Cool. That is the picks, and that is also the end of our live stream. It's the end of the regular season of Winter League. So I think all that is left to do now is to say thank you very much, Mr. Anderson.
You're very welcome.
Hey.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
It has been an incredible tournament for everyone involved, and we are happy to have been part of
And
it.
it's been fantastic entertainment. Everything that you've done has been absolutely spot
Appreciate
on.
it,
I think
guys.
everyone has appreciated it. And if they've not said it yet, then we'll say it.
We'll say it for
make
them.
sure.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate
It's been
you.
good. I've really enjoyed it. It's been trying to just elevate it to try and do something very different. We've seen teams. I've seen teams try to do it, but not consistently. And it is tough. Like I don't get me wrong. I want to be playing. At the same time, I'd like to get more guys that.
You
are
know
not
you're going to
playing
get a phone
help.
call from Baffa, right?
No, me and Tom didn't make it to GM, so it's done.
Clark Anderson.
Clark Anderson.
Don't worry,
It's a
Clark
missed
Anderson.
opportunity,
We're
man.
already gearing up for Clark Anderson 2024.
We'll take Mike's job next. So
He would love that.
I appreciate
He
it.
would love that.
So I haven't got anything announced for next year just yet. Will we do a review show for after the playoffs?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, cool. So hopefully by then I might announce. We haven't got any dates in the diary yet because we can't book them till after today. So I'll go and try and get some dates sorted out. Maybe get a bit of
A reveal?
a reveal for what they're going to be. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
I need to be careful. I won't. I'm going to try and get it. I'm going to try get it November, December, January, February. So we're not going into March because I'm just aware that the season starts in April and we want to get pre-season friendlies in March time. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to try and get them 4 months back to back. But the problem that I've got is the Flag and New Year,
Ironman.
Flag and Ironman, and another tournament that I'm aware of that's going to be in February. Oh, it's invite only, boys. So we'll wait and see who turns up to that. Who gets invites? I don't know. I won't say anything. I don't know yet. So
It's
we.
Champions Bowl already.
Honestly,
So, so yeah, a lot to live up to for next season, but we'll announce stuff as soon as I know.
Cool.
Appreciate it. Right, awesome.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on a pitch soon.
Aaron! I think that's us. Right? Everyone got their flags. Do you keep them?
More importantly, come to daddy. Back in your nest, my sweet.
It's It's still running. Please release that.
I'll get it in there.
I combined 4 points.
Silver cat. Sounds like a little bit like Thundercats, doesn't it?
Raptors.
Or the Love Cats.
There's like a video intro thing for it, but
Silver Cats.
You know what?
right.
I'll take the hat off. I won't be rude.
We're indoors.
The sun is shining.
You do look amazing after your shower as well.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay, and okay, I'll go.
All I could see out of the corner of my eye was Trigo.
One of us going?
Okay,
He's starting his hair.
okay. Take number 2.
Oh, I can't wait for the blooper reel.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be so many.
Greg, can you be a little bit more professional, please?
No, I cannot.
Ready? Take 3.